welcome to Raise Sensation. I'm your host, Dan, and on this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at a book on the art of tattooist and manga artist Bonten Taro. Okay, so a little background on this book. Bonten Taro is a Japanese artist who did popular manga in the 60s and 70s. It was Yakuza and bad girl type of Yakuza stuff. And he's also a tattoo artist and a design artist. And on Facebook somehow, I saw some of his images, and they were being passed around Facebook because there was a show in Japan that was going to be on a history of his entire career, and the images were really fantastic. And so I saw that they were going to do a catalog for the show, or what they were considering. You know, it was a 448-page book, and it says manga, photos, illustrations, etc. And it was in Japanese, but I was like, oh, well, you know, I want to see these images. And so when it finally came out, I sent an email because I couldn't figure out how to order the title. And so then I sent this email. I got a reply back, and it told me to get in touch with this one office. And I dragged my feet on it only a couple weeks. But by the time I got in touch with them, it had sold out. So I was like, damn. Then I heard they were going to do a second printing of it. So again, I probably didn't follow up as fast as I should have. And again, the second printing sold out. And I really wanted to see this. I was imagining it being, you know, one thing. And in my mind, it was growing and growing. 448 pages. I mean, crying out loud. So it just got a French version printed. This is all in French. It's been translated from the Japanese to French. I can't read Japanese and I can't read French, so either way, I was kind of out of luck. But I really wanted to see these images. I wanted to see I was hoping there'd be like tons of posters and all kinds of stuff. You know, because if you're searching online, you can either find the Japanese manga. There was an English language collection of some of his stories that's supposed to be really good, but that's another one that went out of print really fast, and it costs a fortune to buy a used copy. And so the other thing I see is lots of books done on his tattoo art. But anyway, so I wanted this. So this French version was pretty easy to get. It wasn't super cheap, but it was easy to get. So here it is. We're going to look through this a little bit. And I will say that I'm a little disappointed. It is mostly manga. Yeah, and he did record too. He did everything. There's some of his tattoo work. And like I said, the tattoo books are pretty easy to find on like eBay and stuff. Here's one of his covers, some of his illustration work. I mean, you can see this is really, really cool stuff. There's the man himself. I guess that's at the exhibit. I'm not, you know. See, there's this book too. I don't know what, I'm not sure what that book is either. I would really like, if somebody knows anything more about this stuff, hey, put it in the comments, please, because I would really like to know more about this. I'd like to track more of this stuff down. Here's some of the patterns of his tattoo work made into designs for all different kinds of stuff. He did all kinds of designs. Look at this stuff. There's Muhammad Ali wearing a robe that he had designed. There's some illustrations of how to tattoo. Now here's some of the manga. Now, I am very happy to see this manga. I just didn't realize so much of this book was going to be manga that I cannot read. I was hoping there was going to be more design stuff, more of his poster work, that kind of thing. I thought it was going to be more balanced. I imagined a different book than what it is. I really can't say too much. If I could read this, if I was French and I got this, I would be loving it. I would love to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen enough Japanese pop culture of this time period. I'm not like a manga expert or an expert on all kinds of Japanese stuff, but there are certain areas, like the Japanese outlaw movies and stuff that I'm familiar with. And that I'm sure I could figure this out if I look at it long enough. I'm actually looking through this. I only flipped through it once. I'm going slower now than the first time I flipped through it. I just wanted to show it to you while I was thinking of it, while it was fresh in my mind. So yeah, I'm sure I'm sure there's not too many twists and turns that I couldn't figure out what was going on. You see how gory and brutal this stuff is. Look at this. Now, a manga page, when they're first printed in the magazines, they're bigger than this, but this is about the size that they're maybe a little smaller. A lot of people read them later in their digest form, if they're popular. But I would really like to see more of this stuff printed in the original magazine size. Although, being shrunk down this small makes it look really super tight. So, these are cool. Oh, man. Brutal. I like this art a lot. I like how simple it is. I like the cartoony faces. They're cartoony in a way that I really like, in that they're very, very expressive. I find that a lot of times when cartoonists are trying to be too realistic, it kind of sucks all their ability to really do emotions very well. At least that's the way I feel about it. And there are exceptions to that. There are always exceptions. Anytime I say something, just know there's always exceptions. Now, these color pages, I imagine, were from the mangas. If you got to do color pages, very few pages that were in color in the mangas, unless it was a pretty popular feature. So the fact that he got to do some color pages just shows that he was, his work was pretty popular at this time. Like I said, most of this manga stuff comes from the 60s and 70s. I'm not sure how late in the game this is. Like I said, I wish I could read French. Maybe I'd get my wife to translate some of it for me. Let's try and find some of that. There is some of the some more non-manga stuff in here. I guess all these dates are I don't know. I mean, I see the late 60s, early 70s on this, but I don't know what pages they're for. And I don't know, it's not for the whole book. I don't know if it's just for the particular stories there. Sorry, if I maybe I'll do some maybe I'll take some photos and then try and do one of those apps on the phone that'll translate it for me. That might be what I have to do. Those rotten American GIs. Oh, no. All right. That's some good stuff. You know what? You know, some of this line work and some of this stuff, it reminds me of Kurtzman's war comics for EC. Um, this is this is fun. This is good stuff. Dang. Anyway, I said I was going to go past this a little bit. There is a few more things. Uh, Portfolio. So again, I'm not sure. Well, I know that he designed some poster work. These are most likely covers for magazines or something. Most of this. Wow, that's great. Lady Yaka's kind of stuff. You know, the gambling. Wow. Here's some monster type stuff, some ghost kind of stuff. I didn't notice any ghost stuff in here, so I don't know. And here's some ninja stuff. And that's not really represented in here very much. I mean, there's a little. See these, you know, I was hoping there was like, this would be like half the book would be this kind of stuff. Look at that. Dang. A missed opportunity. Uh-oh. I don't even want, let's not go there. Anyway, so that's the book. Like I say, I'm glad to have this. Part of me kind of wishes I could have got the Japanese version. Like I said, I can't read either of them, but you know, the art of lettering the manga can be just as, you know, these, of course, are the French. Instead, see, they left in some of the sound effects in Japanese, but some of these are, you know, this must have replaced some Japanese. So they kind of messed with this a little bit. Anyway, so you know, if anybody here knows anything they'd like to add to this, I'd appreciate it. I'd like to find more. I wish there was a book that was an oversized book that was just like I say, the those graphics, those covers and stuff. I would eat that up. That'd be great stuff. All right, that's it for now.